Thank you, Pastor Michelle and Quebec District Churches as you gather at your conference. Thank you for your leadership, for supporting Erdo's ministry to the hungry, poor and the vulnerable. At the start of 2022, the global hunger crisis increased by over 150 million people who went to bed every night hungry. This reversed decades of development. But thanks to your unprecedented generosity, we were able to double our food assistance programming. Your support allowed us to deepen our impact as we worked with excellent and dedicated church partners all over the world. This year has been a true testament to what we can accomplish when we work together. And a big part of our work is the support you and your churches faithfully provide. So thank you for standing with us as we responded to some of the world's biggest challenges in 2022. Conflict and climate change resulted in crisis response programs in Ukraine, in Yemen, in Congo, in Kenya. The war in Ukraine alone caused incredible human suffering and displacement. In Ukraine and the surrounding countries, we've been working with national Pentecostal fellowships and their local congregations to provide food and supplies to families living in war zones, to care for those who are being displaced, and to bring refugees to safety. One of our church partners brought food and supplies to a small village in southeastern Ukraine where Olga and her daughter Natalia live. Their story is like just so many others. Olga told us that her family was not prepared for the war and was actually blindsided when they learned that the war had started through an evening TV broadcast. And by February the 26th, all the men in their family, Natalia's brother, her husbands, her uncles, cousins, and her cousin's husband, were all enlisted in the army and had left, leaving the women with no income. Olga and Natalia had nothing, no chance to survive, until our church partners brought humanitarian food and supplies to their village. Like so many others, their lives were changed in a matter of weeks, and they needed immediate support. Sergei, who's a pastor in eastern Ukraine, also told us about the difference your help has made. His congregation had mostly fled the city, leaving him with only 15 members. Erdo was able to send Sergei $4,000 in emergency funds to buy groceries for his community and to support him as he moved forward. The community was so blessed by this gift, seeing Christ show up in their moment of need. Sergei said the groceries were like a cup of cold water in the desert. Through this tangible support of emergency food, the church has grown to over 400 members. In fact, over the last few Sundays, the pastors have been saying, if you're here today, please don't come next week to allow other people to come to church. What an incredible testimony of the work of Jesus. As the humanitarian agency of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada, Erdo has responded to other crises these last year, including severe flooding in Pakistan and Bangladesh, chaos left in the wake of Hurricane Fiona on the east coast of Canada, and drought impacting many countries in the Horn of Africa. Through community development projects, you've supported the health of families as well, bringing clean water to over 30 communities in Bangladesh, installing bore wells in Zimbabwe, bringing biosand filters into the homes in Honduras. You've assisted women and men in Zimbabwe, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Burundi, starting small businesses so that they can build a future for themselves and break free from poverty. In Burundi, Christian Life Ministries, our local partner, and Erdo, has been working with a widow named Jacqueline. Jacqueline has been providing for her 3 children for the last 20 years through a small stall at a local market, but she's never earned enough to get ahead. Our Asia program works with women just like Jacqueline, giving them business and marketing training and microloans to grow their business. Since joining Asia, Jacqueline now gets very animated when she talks about her business. She's been so successful that she's opened a second shop in her home, and she can now afford to send her children to school and support her elderly mother. Jacqueline's story is just one testimony of how a life can be changed with a little bit of help. She's done the hard work, and we and the church there has had the privilege of watching her grow. What you might not know about Erdo's community development projects is that we work alongside local churches, local leaders, listening to the challenges they see in their communities, and working together on programs that will provide solutions that make sense to them and lasting change for their communities. In Lubezi, Zimbabwe, we ran a kitchen garden program where 50 local women were trained to grow food for their families. After the program ended, these women continued to work together and created a large community garden that now supports over 500 families. That's 2,500 people in the area. We've kept in touch with these women, and in 2021, when their well collapsed, our church partners helped them rebuild it so they could continue watering their gardens and supporting their community. Last year, these same local women came to us with another dream, starting a local animal livestock business. In 2022, we were able to train 360 women alongside our local church partner in animal husbandry, business management skills, so that they could increase their income for their family and supply even more food to the area. So if you've ever wondered when you buy a goat through our Christmas gift catalog, this is in communities just like this. Over the years, your support from the Quebec District has helped this growing community, a place that regularly faces drought, unemployment, and crushing inflation. You are literally changing the story that God is writing in the lives of these children and women, giving them a future free from poverty and hunger. As we continue to stand with communities like Lubezi, we are seeing God transform lives in incredible ways. This past year, almost 8,000 children across 29 countries were sponsored, had access to education, supplementary food, healthcare, and clean water. Our Childcare Plus program allows us to share the gospel with nearly 40,000 children each and every year. One of these children is Ziamara, who lives in Guatemala. Our partner, PAOC global worker Hector and Ruth Aragon, met Ziamara last year. Her mother fled an abusive marriage and found a job as a caretaker at a local church. The church helped the family build a home and start over in a new city. And Ziamara told Hector very proudly that she had just finished grade 6. But her countenance changed as she revealed that her family did not have the money to register her for grade 7. Ziamara really didn't know who she was talking to, but God did. Hector and Ruth immediately enrolled her in Childcare Plus and gave her the chance to finish her education through a Canadian sponsor. Jacqueline is another sponsored child from Burkina Faso. She faced many challenges when it came to education, including a severe illness which kept her out of school for most of 2021. When she was ready to start again last year, however, she had exceeded the maximum age allowed in her school's program. Thanks to our church partner there, fighting on her behalf, the school allowed Jacqueline to finish her studies, and she graduated in 2022 with the help of her sponsor. And if you don't sponsor a child, do so today. Go to erdo.ca. It might take you about 90 seconds to sponsor a child. You will sponsor a child and make a difference not only this year, but in that child's life for years to come. For more impact stories, please visit our website, erdo.ca. Have a look at our annual report, this year's annual report. Follow us on social media, where you can see most of our current project updates, photos, and stories of the people that you are impacting every day. And now, as we journey through the months of 2023 and respond to the needs of this year, we recognize that the Lord is leading us together. We know the needs of women and children are going to become more critical than ever, as the deepening hunger crisis always impacts women first. Here's a short clip about Erdo's 365 campaign, which supports the needs of women and girls every single day of the year.
Women are heroes. All over the world, women face incredible challenges caring for themselves and their children. With little support and few resources at hand, women provide for their families. They don't take days off. A world without poverty starts with empowering women every day. Erdo's 365 campaign gives these heroes new opportunities to reach their full God-given potential. We're helping girls and women with high-impact solutions to poverty. When we invest in a woman's future, we see girls educated, mothers trained and equipped for new careers, and community wells installed, bringing clean water closer to home. Support Erdo's 365 campaign and change the lives of girls and women around the world every day.
God bless you. And again, thank you and your churches for standing with us as we reach out to the poor and vulnerable in the name of Jesus.